Welcome back, and we'd like to welcome Larry Stevenson. Larry works with LDS Employment Resource Services, a free resource for all in need of employment assistance with centers around the state and around the world. Now, Larry manages the local Provo group. Larry, we're going to be talking to him in just a minute, but just as a reminder, our toll-free number is available to you to ask any questions you have about unemployment, career counseling, what options you have, and how you can wow an employer. Our toll-free number, again, is 1-800-298-5298. Now, during business hours, as a reminder to you, there is a volunteer center at no cost that you can call. The number is 211. That information and resource line will help you find resources in your community, no matter where you live. And, of course, the information that you share is confidential. That number is 211. We also have a lot of information online for you to follow up in the next few days. That website is kbyutv.org/economic sense. Larry, thanks so much for being here.
It's good to be here.
Okay, we need to hear it. How do we wow that employer?
You find out exactly what they're looking for, and you tell them exactly what they want to hear, especially using facts with numbers. For example, if they're looking for a manager who gets results, you want to tell them how you increase productivity by 230%. Now, you never want to exaggerate, you never want to make it up, and you never want to lie. But you start keeping track so that they start hearing what they want to hear. If you're going for a teacher's position, you talk about how you increased grade performance in the students in your classes, and you quantify that with what percent of the class increased by what grade.
Doesn't that go against our basic nature? Because it feels like we're bragging.
Oh, yes. It goes very much against our nature. I remember a television show that used to be on with Walter Brennan called The Guns of Will Sonnet, and he had a phrase he used, said, "No brag, just fact." And so it's hard for people to say this because they really do, they've been taught not to brag.
Yeah, don't boast about your abilities.
Exactly.
However, you only have one opportunity in that initial interview to wow them.
Exactly. And part of the problem is they automatically factor in a discount. They assume that you're exaggerating. So if you understate, you get docked for the exaggeration they felt you probably did, and then you dock yourself, and so you wind up coming in 2 levels below truth.
Oh, my goodness.
So we just teach people, give the facts.
Give the facts, but the best facts about who you are, what you did in your last job, and how that will help you in your new job if they hire you. We've got a call right now. Ashley, welcome to Economic Sense. How can we help you tonight? All right. We have a problem connecting.
For several different positions with some medical companies throughout the valley, and I'm wondering, how do I make myself stand out among all the other possible employees? There have been hundreds and hundreds of applicants besides myself.
You know, I appreciate that question. Good one.
Good question, Ashley. And hi, by the way. Nice to talk to you. Let me ask a couple of questions. What is it that they are really looking for, and what do you have to offer? Let's start with what you have to offer, and we'll turn that into a wow, okay? So tell me what you've done, a very specific experience of something they're looking for.
Well, it's really difficult for me since I'm transferring from another industry.
Okay.
I used to work in the auto finance industry, and I'm wanting to make the transition to the medical field, and it's hard to put across what my expertise is.
Okay, let's share one. What would be a common thing that the auto industry wanted you to do that a medical office would also want you to do?
Customer service, were you great with customers, or?
Or collections, were you good at getting the bills paid?
I was actually the one producing the bills.
So you were the one producing the bills. Excellent, excellent. And let's turn this into a wow. How long did it take you from the time a bill got, the paperwork got to you, that you got the bill out?
Often less than 30 days.
Less than 30 days. Excellent. Okay. Would a doctor be interested in someone who could get Medicare billing out within 30 days?
Definitely, I would think so.
Okay, now we're going to turn this into a statement. Is that all right? And the statement can start with, I'm very good at getting billing out promptly. For example, now give us your example.
In your own words.
In your own words. For example, give me the name of a company you worked with.
Prestige Financial.
Okay, say it again.
At Prestige Financial,
I processed all the billing
I processed all the billing
and got the billing out within how many days?
and got the billing out within 15 to 20 days.
Ooh,
Good.
I like that. She's up
Say
in the
it
ante.
again.
Wow.
See? Doesn't that have wow?
She's building up the wow factor.
Say it again, Ashley, all together now.
Okay.
Say, in my last job at,
Yes, in my last job.
My last job at Prestige Financial, I processed all the bills and got them out within 15 to 20 days.
Okay, now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to be the employer. I'm a doctor and I'm asking you this question. I've interviewed people with more experience than you have. Why should I hire you? Give me the statement you just said.
At my last job at Prestige Financial, I processed all the bills and got them out within 15 to 20 days.
Now you back it up with, is this the kind of billing you would like in your office? Say
Is this
that.
the kind of billing you would like in your office?
Excellent. Could we try it one more time for practice? Because you're
she's
doing great.
What a
You
great
are doing
guinea pig.
wonderful.
But it's true. We're all uncomfortable with it. But what a
Yes.
great example. Okay, are you ready?
Are you ready,
Are you
Ashley?
marked?
And by the way, do you find it gets easier the more you do it?
A little.
Okay, so
Except
we're going
for
to
she's
try
on
it. Yeah,
television.
you're on
We'll take that
television.
out,
But see, being on television is the same as it would be real.
Okay.
Okay, so Ashley, I've interviewed people with more experience in the medical field. Why should I hire you?
Well, at my last job at Prestige Financial, I processed all the bills and got them out within 15 to 20 days.
Question.
Now
Ask a
follow up
question.
with the question.
Ask him.
Is this?
Is this the kind of experience you would like in an employer?
Well done, Ashley. Now, how do you think a doctor would respond to that?
I would think you would say, yes, that's exactly what I'd like.
Do you now stand out above all the others who have come in and talked to him in generalities?
I would hope so.
Yeah,
but
and you know what?
Good.
It takes the
someone
tim.
else has more experience than me. It's still hard.
Except for you need
True.
to believe. Doesn't she need to believe that she stands out too?
Yes,
So
you've,
she's not
you've
timid.
got to believe that you have the power to do this. And by the way, is what we're saying true?
Yeah,
Is it accurate?
yeah.
Have you ever heard anyone else say something like this in a job interview?
Well,
Now-
I've never interviewed someone, so I wouldn't know.
She's honest.
She is.
She's
Now,
true,
the
sure.
good news, Ashley, is there are probably 10 or 20 things like that that you did in your previous career that you could apply to the doctor's office. For example, give me 3 other things that you've done that a doctor would be interested in. We've talked about getting bills out on time. What are other skills you're good at?
I answer a multi-line phone system.
Good,
Oh,
good.
wonderful.
Is a doctor going to be impressed with that?
Yes.
Good. Give me another thing that you've done that would impress a doctor.
I worked a lot with computers and had to multitask.
Excellent, excellent. And could you give a specific example of where you used a computer and multitasked?
Every day I had to process all the loan documentation into the computer system, and
And is that
I'd have to take phone calls at the same time and
greet
converse
people?
with my associates.
And I'm assuming with loan documents, a lot of confidential information is passing through her
Yes.
hands. And just
Oh,
like in the healthcare, right? You have to have someone who you can trust with that confidential information.
Do you see, Ashley, how you have a lot more to offer than you thought you had? Because you really
Well, I
have
knew
done
that I
what they
had
want
some
done.
offers. It's just, it seems like I've been getting turned down a lot.
Right, but now
Right.
you've got some tools on your side.
And what I would suggest is come on into one of our centers. We offer free services. We have a great workshop called the Career Workshop. It's either offered, say, 3 mornings or 2 full days. It's free of charge, and you will practice saying what we just did 19 times. They'll help you develop 10 or 12 statements like that, and you will start shining in an interview. Could I share one other thing with
Sure,
you, Ashley?
and sure. Okay.
This is for everybody. Ashley, I want you to think about something. Okay? I want you to think about all the horrible things that could happen in an interview, all the very worst nightmares you've ever had. And if they all happened in one interview, what would you lose? Could you lose the job?
No, because you don't have it yet.
You don't
right.
have it, so you can't lose it. dignity is something we might, but we usually give that away. Now I want you to think about this. The person on the other side of the table, what's their biggest fear? They're worried about hiring the wrong person, someone who doesn't fit in, someone who can't do the job.
Someone be difficult, inept.
Someone
sure.
who's difficult. Now, if they hire the wrong person, can they lose their job?
I guess potentially.
Yes.
Sure.
Could the doctor lose patients if he hires the wrong receptionist and medical assistant?
Right.
See, if you will begin to realize that every time you walk into the room, the person on the other side of the table has more to lose than you do, and stop focusing on yourself and focus on making that person feel wonderful. No one else thinks about that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And Ashley, thank you for your call and for being our guinea pig. Very
Thank you,
brave of
Ashley.
her. But yeah, I love that. So one of the keys for wowing a potential employer is to be very prepared about what we've done in the past, make those statements strong, and then turn those statements so they apply in the new setting. What other wows?
Another wow is, as I was saying, most people are thinking about themselves. They're focused inwardly. When you're focused on the person, you change from being a job seeker to a problem solver. I'm here to solve your problems. Let's talk about what your problems are and what I have done that can remedy these. Using Ashley as an example.
Would it be appropriate for us then to turn to the employer and ask them what their problems are, or we've already done the research ahead of time, and we say, I know that you're looking for this, this, and this, and I can provide that?
We do the research ahead of time.
Okay.
We call the facility. One of the things that a lot of people do when they're looking for a job is they walk in completely unprepared. They'd never do that on the job. If they had a 20-minute presentation with the decision maker,
they would be planning for a week or
they'd
two.
plan
Sure.
ahead. So you make some phone calls, talk to the secretary, talk to the PR department if it's a big firm, and find out what they're really looking for.
Okay.
And then cater your presentation directly to what they're looking for. Someone called in earlier and they asked about they get told they're overqualified.
Sure, and yeah, 250 resumes and
Exactly.
the last month, discouraging.
And,
sure.
and part of the challenge is if you're told that you're overqualified, it's because you told the employer more than they wanted to hear. So we don't have time to tell everything about ourselves, so we should be telling them that which applies to the job that person has.
Fantastic. We have Jonathan on the line right now. Well, welcome to Economic Sense. Jonathan, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Jonathan. Welcome.
Thank you. Quick question for you. I've had 3 interviews with the company.
Excellent.
And I was told that I'd hear back from them in 6 to 10 days. I have not. What should I be doing now?
Can I give you a quick follow-up? A strategy for following up after any interview. Immediately after an interview, sit down and write down the answer to 4 questions. First, what went well in the interview? So I'd suggest, Jonathan, write down very quickly where you connected and what went well in those interviews.
Right after the interview. So
Right
it's
after
fresh
the
in your
interview.
mind. Okay.
Then write down all the things you said you wish you hadn't.
Okay.
Then write down all the things that you wish you had said, but you didn't. These are all the great answers that come 20 minutes after
Sure,
the
you're
interview.
in the car, it's filtering through your mind, you're
Exactly.
calling your
And
friends.
finally, where you came up short on what they're looking for. Then on the very day of the interview, you send a thank you email connecting again what went well. Then 3 days later, you call them and you fix the answer you blew. You call them and you say, for example, can I role play with you, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Okay, Jonathan, this is Larry Stevenson. We talked 3 days ago regarding the job that you're looking for. And what are you looking for, Jonathan?
What type
What kind of job are you looking for?
It's a manager position.
Okay. And you asked me a question about what it was like to manage people from different ethnic backgrounds. And I wanted to let you know that I've been thinking about that answer. And at my last company, I had to manage people who came from Latino and Oriental and American backgrounds. And so I've got a lot of experience working with people from different backgrounds. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm sure that I could manage this operation that you need to work with. And by the way, as long as I'm on the phone, is now a good time for a 4th interview.
Oh, okay. So you're following that. Number one, you send them a card
Send 'em a
that
thank
plays
you
on the
email.
best and say,
Yes.
I really think it was great that we talked about whatever that strategy is, that we both
Yes.
agree on this, and find what was good, rephrase that, thank them, and then follow up with a phone call and try to fix what you were worried about that you may have said that was
Yes.
inappropriate.
And what you're doing is you're still convincing them that you can do the job they want, that you can fit in your good return on investment. And so you never ask them, have you made a decision, or I didn't hear from you. That's like when we get asked if we've done things we haven't done yet, it makes us feel bad.
Okay.
You don't want them feeling bad about you.
Okay.
So Jonathan, you call them and you keep giving them good reasons to hire you.
So you act like it's totally appropriate for you to be driving the car. So if they didn't call you back, that's okay, because I'm in the driver's seat. I know that I'm good for your company, and I'll just keep
And this is why
contacting
I'm
you
good.
respectfully.
And each time is now a good time for another interview.
You asked.
You just ask each time. Does that help, Jonathan?
It does. I've called back but haven't been able to get a hold of the hiring manager. I've got a hold of the other managers but not the specific manager. So
That's over that position.
Have you been able to go to their voicemail?
I have, I believe one time I left a message.
Okay, what was the message you left?
I just let him know that I was still interested in the position and was excited to hear back from him. And
do you see how giving him additional information at that time in that phone call, for example, is there anything that you weren't quite exactly what they were looking for in the position that you've done the 3 interviews with?
So, and a weakness. And you know, we have just another minute or two where we need to finish our show, which is it's been compelling just to watch you walk through, Jonathan and Ashley, through that situation. Is that the kind of career support we can get through your department?
That's what we give at LDS
And that's the
Employment
kind of
Resource
rehearsal we
Services.
want to have. So we're prepared to leave the accurate voicemail, the thank you gift, and have those powerful wow statements work on our behalf. Larry,
Exactly.
thank you so very, very much.
Thank you,
I really
Rebecca.
hope that information
And
is
Jonathan,
taken to
good
heart.
luck.
Yes, and of course Ashley too. We look for that. We want to thank each of you for joining us too. The employment crisis is real, and the effects can be devastating, not only for those who have lost their jobs, but also their friends and their family. But there is hope. I remind you that help is available in Utah right now, and it is okay to ask for that help. Now, the key is to find the right resources, prepare to make a good impression, apply to jobs that fit your skills and interests, and show persistence in your efforts, as Larry was teaching us. And as we've emphasized all night, don't forget that the 211 information and referral line is a helpline whose mission is to answer your questions, provide assistance, and offer guidance. 201 representatives provide a free and confidential service that directs callers to reputable organizations, and they'll ease your employment worries. You can also visit kbyutv.org, Economic Sense, for links to many of the resources that we've talked about tonight. We want to thank you for watching, and thanks to the specialists from the Utah Department of Workforce Services and to LDS Employment Resource Services for being here this evening. We really hope that we've offered economic sense that will make your life a little easier. For KBYU 11, I'm Rebecca Cressman. Good night.
Economic Sense is made possible by contributing viewers of KBYU and by the Utah Housing Coalition, Community Action Services and Food Bank, and Utah State University Extension.